Hello, I'm Suzette Graham, founder and CEO of Patriot Angels. Thank you for joining me again for another Fireside Chat. I really look forward to our time together every week, and I hope you are too. You know, we all grew up hearing about Paul Revere and his midnight ride. That changed the course of history. But today, I want to tell you another story about Sybil Ludington, a 16-year-old girl who made a remarkably similar ride just 2 years later. She rode nearly twice as far as Paul Revere to stir the colonial troops. Sybil was born in 1761 in New York. She was the eldest of 11 siblings. Her father, Henry Ludington, was a colonel in the Continental Army, a highly decorated soldier. And on April 26, 1777, the colonel received news from a frantic rider that nearby Danbury was under siege by the British troops and needed immediate help, but his unit had been disbanded. Can you imagine the army not being prepared because they had to plant their crops? Well, with the rider too exhausted to make the journey to alert the troops, Sybil stepped up. Sybil rode nearly 40 miles over dirt paths in the pouring rain with only a stick to protect herself. The roads were not safe at night. There were skinners, which was the term for outlaws and British loyals on her route. History says she actually beat one of the skinners with a stick on the head for trying to accost her. Can you imagine how fierce and determined this 16-year-old little girl must have been? She started her ride around 9 and did not get back until dawn. By that time, troops were already gathering on her father's farm, ready to march out. The men marched 17 miles and took part in the battle. It was considered a strategic victory. A battle won because not only the efforts of the brave soldiers, but also because an incredibly brave young woman who rose to the occasion and was able to bring these soldiers together. She later had the honor of meeting General George Washington, and he congratulated her for her efforts. Then she went on to marry another revolutionary named Edward Ogden in 1784. Later in life, she even became a tavern owner in Catskill. Talk about a woman of diverse interests. That's a story for another day. I think many young women can look to Sybil as a role model. A young lady that rose to the occasion to become part of something greater than herself. We may never know how our lives impact others, but we know from our story today that we can impact history just by the simplest choice. I challenge you to do the same. Make someone's life richer today. Remember, it only takes one person to make a difference. Thank you for joining me again, and until next time, I'm Suzette Graham.